Oh, hey, we're getting unwhelmed. Good day. Happy Friday. Welcome to a really important and super fun Unwhelminar that I have really been looking forward to. Um, as you know, this is Unwhelm Coaching and the Free Friday Unwhelminar. And you know that every Friday we show up here for an hour and we bring the baddest ass bisses in the business to share their expertise and experiences and advice with you for no charge. So today we will be talking with the real Sarah, Reel.
Yeah.
And she is going to talk today about unwhelming social media. So before we jump into who is Sarah and how fabulous is she, we're going to take a moment to do some grounding. So, one moment. When you're ready, you may close your eyes or find a quiet place for your gaze in your environment. And this is where we let go of everything that is around and surrounding and demanded of us. And we become present. So make sure that you're grounded. If your feet can be literally on the ground, that's great. Kick off your shoes. Make sure your booty is comfortable, your shoulders up, back, and down. Let's start with just gently stretching your neck side to side, inviting movement and space. Shrug your shoulders up to your ears and then back down. And with me, we're going to inhale through the nose, hold for 4, and exhale through the mouth. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. Once again, at your own pace, inhale, hold, and exhale. And one last breath, we're going to sigh out. Big breath in, fill your lungs, and sigh. Take your hand or both hands and place it over your heart center. And today we're going to invite in ease and grace. We're going to be easy with ourselves and allow ourselves the grace that we allow for other people whom we love. Know that at any point today, if your very protective inner asshole shows up, she's here to protect you, and you can come back to center, back to breath. Hear her and send her on her way simply by centering here in breath. And one more big breath in and out. And when you're ready, welcome back to the space. I am so excited about today's Unwhelminar. My friend Sarah, I was reflecting, Sarah, that I'm not even sure I can recall exactly how we met because I feel like I've always known you. Sarah is a fantastic hype woman. She's here for your success. She is one of the most driven and goal-oriented women that I know, and she serves as a role model for me constantly and certainly for other women. I have to put my glasses on so I can read my notes, or I would probably be happy to talk for a half hour about what a badass, fantastic human Sarah is. So I'm going to sound really super official now and introduce Sarah. She has been in the digital freelancer space since 2014. She had a travel blog and she self-published a budget travel guide on Amazon. BT Dubs, she has also published an entire guide and workbook on how to write your vows for your wedding. If you are engaged, know somebody who's gotten engaged or is about ready to write their own vows. Spoiler alert, if you're not Sarah, it's probably the night before your wedding and you're writing your vows.
Yeah.
So this is a fantastic gift, and at some point, I will, Sarah or one of us will drop the link to that in chat so that you can buy it directly. She also is a beautiful bilingual wedding planner and officiant. I don't think she's got wedding planner on her resume.
I don't do that anymore, just
Uh-huh.
officiating. That's no, it's too much.
She's very much like me in that she just plans everything. So, but she takes it to that next level. She's fantastic. So, by the hand of divine intervention, when COVID hit, she had just left event planning and she was ready to be a pencil pusher with a steady paycheck. She was the transaction and marketing coordinator for a boutique real estate agency. And since there was such a tight marketing deadline, she had to represent the office on social media as professionally and quickly as possible. So she is one of the quickest learners and she devours education, which she did. Found out she loved social media marketing and was incredibly good at it. And pretty soon, all of us in her circle were going, "Can you do that for me? Can you make this video for me? Can you tell me how to do this?" And I really appreciate that one of the things she's very good at is just breaking it down because she is such an incredible role model and she does such amazing things on social media. BT Dubs, we will drop the link in chat for the real Sarah on Instagram, which is where you can find her. She's like Instagrizzle Pro. And you should go check out her social media because she does really incredible things. And there is a wealth of free tips and information available to you with a tiny click. The other thing that I love about Sarah, aside from the fact that she does model this amazing social media presence, is that she's incredibly forgiving and gracious and she meets you where you are. So if, like me, you are a social media noob or slightly resistant, and you look at her reels and you go, "I can't do that." She goes, "No problem. I'm gonna ask you 4 questions. You do 3 things. That's all I'm asking." So it's really, really helpful. So welcome, please, Sarah Magill, the real Sarah.
Thank you. Thank you for that incredible introduction. I feel super hyped up right now. I'm like, yeah, I totally, those things are true, and it's like your inner asshole was saying where, you just think like, I can't do it or like, that's too much or whatever. But I have done a lot of things that I feel really proud about. So thank you for saying that in an outside voice.
Anytime, anytime. One of the
Um,
things I love about the Unwhelmed community is that we are here for the hype. Amen. Whoop, whoop.
So do you want me to just go through kind of my spiel and some stuff, or do you have specific questions for me?
I would love for you to run through what you've brought to the table, and then I do have some specific questions, but I'm quite sure you're going to cover them in your
Okay.
spiel.
Yeah.
And then I also would encourage anybody watching us on Facebook to pop questions in chat because we're monitoring that. And anyone here in the meeting can definitely either raise a hand or pop a question in chat, and we will definitely make space for all of those questions. So, Sarah, the
Yeah.
floor is yours. I'm going.
Awesome. And I'm happy to, take whatever questions might come. And this is great because I'm working on making guides and making videos. I'm going to get a YouTube channel up next month. So there's no shortage of content. No question is a silly question because somebody else probably has it. So yeah, I'd like to just make space for all the questions, even if it's not specifically answered here. But one thing, before I start really anything, I just feel like a lot of people feel so much shame about their social media, right? So if you're feeling like, I'm not keeping up with the trends, or like, I don't know what to post, or I can't post all the time, it can feel so exhausting, right? Yeah. So I just want to I don't know, I'm trying to just kind of take that away. And what I was telling Katie earlier is something's better than nothing. That's what I tell her. I got like 3 pillars. Something's better than nothing. Done is better than perfect. And as Maya Angelou said, do your best and then do better. So when I was talking to Katie about her social media strategy, I just said, you know what? We can just brainstorm some ideas. You can record 4 things. They can literally just be of you ranting about stuff or things that you know. and we'll just do one post a week for a month. That's only 4 posts. So and that's great. And when you have a long form, like this right here is like a long form piece of content, this could totally be broken up into smaller bits once we get there. But I just want to say, once a week, if you can just show up consistently, that's the best thing that you can do. So be consistent, even if it's once a week. I've been doing once a day, but it's taken me a long time to get up to that, to get up there, right? So be consistent, provide value, and engage. You can't just post stuff and, set it and forget it. It's not how it works. So there's a lot we can do in regards to engagement that you might not kind of think about right away. But once you engage in the community, people comment on your page and engage in your page, and they're thinking about you more and sharing your resources. And that's a big way that we can grow. So the guide that I made today is kind of entitled like Never Run Out of Content Ideas. And that's the free guide that everyone can have from just being on this call. And I think the biggest thing that we can do is kind of like how I was saying before, we all feel like, no one's going to listen to us, or like, what do I have to bring to the table? But whoever's following you wants to see your day-to-day. They want to see how you make your coffee. They want to see the apps that you use. They want to see everything about your life. And I've said this a million times, TikTok's better than TV. It's better than cable. So that's just the way the short form video. So with the guide that came today, we're going to talk about different content pillars and sort of how to, I have questions and prompts for each one of those, so we can sort of just extract more ideas. And I want to invite you to think about your entire life as a movie. And you don't have to, if you have your phone out, it's such great idea to just take video. Like I said, throughout the day, just take a 5-second clip, a 3-second clip of making your coffee, logging into your computer, making dinner. And of course you have to hold space for your actual work, and you might want to turn off your phone or have it hidden for that. That's totally fine. But the point of what I'm trying to say is that whatever you're doing is valuable, and it deserves to be captured.
I mean, Jen and I have known that for years. We've always said, why isn't someone just following us around with it?
If I was in New Mexico, I legit would follow you around, and we would have a month worth of content in like an hour.
Right, because I would almost certainly fall down or drop something, and that's comedy gold right there.
Yeah, and you'd fall down and I'd be like, are you feeling down? And then I'll pick you up. Katie will pick you up and go through whatever. So now I'm at the point, I've just unlocked this part in my brain where I can just figure out like the spin to put on everything. So I want to talk about content pillars, and that's kind of the first thing that I would recommend people get started on when they're thinking about a content strategy. And don't be intimidated when I say content strategy, because that just means I want you to be able to plan it out so that you're not like scrambling to post something, whatever, like every day, like what should I post? It's not an afterthought. You can just be more engaged about it. And for me, that takes a lot of stress out of it. And so think about content pillars. So in the guide that I gave, I have it pulled up over here. So your content pillars, those are 3 to 5 categories that you might cover in your business. And I'll give you a freebie. One of those can just be about me, a day in a life, things I like, how I make my coffee, a gadget I can't live without, all that stuff. So you get a freebie. That's just about you. People need to know, like, and trust you before they buy. And they might be watching your Instagram or whatever. They might be watching you for months or a year before they decide they want to work with you. There's a long lead time, and it's hard to track that, but know, like, and trust. And you know what? They're going to see that, you've got grown kids and be like, oh, my kids are out of the house too. Or like, I have a dog and a cat too, or whatever. Like, I have a 6-year-old daughter. And so one note about that is I try to kind of show like the back of her head, because I want to protect her privacy, but I still want to show that I have a kid and this is my life with the 2 dogs and the dog hair and the toys on the floor and the 6-year-old and the temper tantrums. That's somebody's going to see that and they're going to relate to me. And whatever you have to say, it totally has value, and somebody needs to hear that from you. You might think that the market's oversaturated, or like everyone's on TikTok and somebody's doing it better than me. But it's not really about better. It's just about you and your message, and someone's going to connect with you. There's totally other business strategists, but Katie is unique because she not only is just a badass, and I love that you cuss all the time, honestly, because I know that you're not going to be too stuffy, and I cuss all the time too. So I already know that we have, and we're passionate. It conveys passion. So there's a way. So I would rather work with Katie than a more stuffy, business coach. And I love what Katie does is a lot of her stuff. It's not just business strategy. It's specifically for women. Like, you can't just have that work-life balance necessarily. Your inner asshole, like all that stuff is gold that I keep up here. And like, she gets it that I'm a mom. And so by showing her personality, that is her business. That is her business model. So all about you. So let's say, so for like, we're going back to content pillars. So my content pillars are kind of like about me and my life. And, Camille does karate, and I have 2 huskies and whatever. And I love coffee and exercise in my morning routine, things like that. Obviously I am all about short form video. I love video and reels and strategy and how you can make your video into your marketing strategy. So I make cool videos. Like just yesterday, I posted a video where I got some new shorts from Just Fab and I styled them. And every time I just went like this and I made the shirt float and then stick on me. So, so I did that, but then I have a bonus category where now I show a tutorial. So like the fun video ideas and how they could apply to your niche, the tutorial, and then like a social media snippet, like how to, use hashtags better, or how to make a creative graphic using the stories feature or whatever. And then my last pillar is motivational stuff and entrepreneurial, leave your 9 to 5, you got this, mindset, gratitude, that kind of stuff. So those are my content pillars. And I always kind of shuffle around those things. So if you kind of think about what are 3 to 5 things that you can kind of talk about, I would invite you to either jot those down or just hold them, just consider them. And then in the guide that I have, I made a chart. So across the top are your 5 content pillars. And then across the side are some prompts. And these are great places to start. But and also remember that people really need short form content. So this is a trap that I get stuck in all the time, where I want to provide value and show a tutorial, but it's a 1 minute long. But all the trending audios are 7 seconds. I'm like, what am I going to do with 7 seconds? That's crazy. But what that's to say is, like, you might have a rant, Katie, about how women, have a different path in business, and that one rant can be clipped up. You can put that in a free video editor and clip that up. And I mean, in 1 minute, you can have 7 clips from that. And the beauty of that is if you had a content calendar, if you had a Google, however you organize your stuff, that could be once a week. That could be you could do 1 rant and then you're good for a month because you break it up. And that's great.
I just want to, I'm just interrupting you real quickly because first I want to pop this chart that you were talking about just up on the screen so people can just take a quick look at it.
Oh, good. Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
Because this is incredibly helpful. This is where your content pillars go across the top. And then here are the prompts. And chances are, if you're building your business, you are going to already be talking about these things to people you're talking about to your business. You're going to be following people on social media who already say these things. And I want to hark back to what Sarah was saying about you may feel like the market is saturated. I will tell you that my feed is full of coaches. And if I see the same message come up over and over and over, I assume it's because either I need to be paying attention to it or I need to tell my own clients about it. So that frame that your message is unique because of you is incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
I also want to touch on one other thing that you just kind of said almost as a throwaway, which is something really incredibly valuable, and I use to this day. Sarah asked me some questions, basic questions about what my business was like, and she immediately came up with a list of like 30 hashtags that I simply I copy from my worksheet and I paste it into almost every single Instagram, every single later post. That's my outside scheduler. I post those hashtags into every single one of my posts. And it was a matter of probably like seconds for her because that's how her brain works. But for me, it saves me so much time to be able to copy and paste. And the fact that you Like one thing that happens to me when you start talking about these great ideas is I start to like immediately get overwhelmed. Well, okay, but I admit it, and then I have to take the time and do the editing and blah blah blah. But something that was really important that you said was, and then you have a month of content. So could I do that once a month? Yeah. Then it's not overwhelming. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Well, and I know when my brain works best. I know that Mondays are the days that I want to kind of front load my week. And in the mornings is when I'm more able to do really technical stuff like budgeting or spreadsheets or like strategic things, or like I'm learning this new software for my email marketing. That's a good thing for me to do in the morning. However, in the afternoon or on Fridays, that's a great day for me to connect like I'm doing now, or to do something creative. So Friday would, and I give this advice like, oh yeah, batch your content. I don't do that. I don't do that. I just literally make a video every morning, and that's the first thing I do in the morning. But I mean, I don't know. I definitely want to do that more. But what I'm saying is that would be Friday. Friday would be the day for me to do that. So I, think about you and your day and customize your schedule, time block it however you need to, because maybe you're just not a morning person. That's not when your peak brain functioning happens. So for me, I'm able to kind of consider all my work that I need to do and reorganize it based on that. So I'm kind of worried that I might be getting like really technical, and I don't want to do that. So does anyone have questions or like anything I should repeat or touch on?
Can you say those your three key pieces? The first one is be consistent.
Provide value and engage.
Thank you. Can you talk at a very broad level? And of course, if anyone has questions, please hop into chat or raise your hand. But I just know what has really helped me. So can you talk about the ways that you described to me how to engage in a way that doesn't have me glued to my phone or my laptop every single minute on
Yeah.
social media?
Well, I like having, most of the times I have my notification silence for one, because I love that people are engaging with my content, but if I get a notification every couple of minutes, that's just not going to work for me. So I turn my notifications off. And again, that's one of those things I can reply to comments at the end of the day when I'm like kind of in my not as focused time. But yeah, so as far as engaging goes, make sure that you're putting a call to action or a question or something in your description of your post. So, has this ever happened to you? Or like, tell me how you feel about this. Tag a friend who might, save this post for later, or tag a friend, who might find this useful. So you have to tell people, everybody's busy, everybody has very short attention spans. You have to tell them exactly what you want them to do. And so it's gonna kind of start in your video or your post. You'll invite them to read the description. You'll invite them to follow you, whatever that call to action is. So make sure that you're responding to all your comments. When you grow and you're famous and you have thousands of comments, don't worry about it so much. Then maybe just make a point to respond to like the first 10 or something.
Sarah, just have somebody else do it. This is outsourcing. Have someone else
Yeah.
hire someone to do that.
Well, and so I have a client and I manage her comments, and every Monday, I'll go through her comments, and lots of times it'll be like, hey, this is so fun. This is great. Oh my gosh, it's helped me so much. And then I can hop in and be like, I'm so glad you found this useful. I'm so glad you like this. Congratulations. Thank you for commenting, whatever. So I can comment on those things. But if it's really technical, that I'm not a professional in Chinese medicine and acupuncture at all. So if they want to ask me something about that, I save those. I say, I say something, like, oh, I'm in a meeting right now. I'll get back to you really soon, or like, I can get back to you, whatever. And then every Monday I send my client an email that's with the links. I mean, sometimes I can do all the content, but I mean, all the comments, but if it's something technical or they're asking a question about her history, I don't know. So then I'll send it to them on Monday. And that's our correspondence. That's our like heavy correspondence day. Cause Monday is when I front load my week on Monday. So Monday, yeah. So respond to comments as much as you can. Another great thing you can do is find I hope that you're following people kind of in your niche, especially people that are more established than you or have a bigger following. They're great inspiration, but also, like I was saying before, they can't reply to every single comment. And there will be questions in the comments. How do I do this? How do I do this? And I've done that before. Well, I'll go in the comments and someone asked a question about camera settings and I replied in the comments, yeah, just make sure to do X, Y, and Z. And there you go, bam. And I did that a couple times. And I would love to have to set up a time to do that just to engage, because it's just kind of a different brain function. So for me, it's like batching, right? So batching like chores or like duties. So you can go through some accounts that have more following and just see what kind of conversations you can have. You could also find somebody that might be your ideal client, and you could find them with hashtags, or maybe they follow you, or maybe they comment a lot on your things. Maybe they're engaging with your account, but they haven't quite converted. They haven't quite become your client, your paying client yet, but you know that they like your stuff. So when you engage with them and comment on their stuff and like their posts, then it's just fostering that relationship, and it's just strengthening that connection, and they're going to think of you more and more. Like, you want to be top of mind for them. So whenever the need does arise, the service that you provide, then they'll be more likely to think of you. Again, or you can find hashtags, like I might look for hashtags, social media help. And maybe I'll find somebody that I might like, that I might want to work with, and I'll like at least 3 of their posts. I'll comment on some things. And if you see a bunch of notifications on your phone, oh, the real Sarah likes this, 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 and this, the natural inclination is to click on my profile and see what I'm all about. So it's an invitation to get them to come and like you, but you're providing value and you're taking that step. You're in that trust relationship. Like, we have, as professionals, we have to take that step first, because everybody's so inundated with like, buy this, try this, buy me, have my attention, So when we do that, especially in today's day where people's attention span is so much shorter and everybody is so over marketed to, we just have to provide value first. That's one of my big things is provide value, answer questions. Another thing I would recommend doing is, do you guys know about like Instagram stories that you can post to your story?
I would love for you, actually, just from a purely selfish sense, I would love for you to talk about stories, reels, covers, sort of give us a vocabulary and what are
Yeah.
the differences and what are they best used for. So like one day you
Sure.
said, take this content, make it the cover for your reel, and then talk about it for 15 seconds. And I was like, shit, I'm already overwhelmed.
Damn. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to
do
do that. I'm trying to unwhelm you guys.
fantastic. But, well, which was eliminating for me, because then I was like, oh, she's talking about 3 steps once a week. Once again, feels overwhelming, but do I have 1 hour
Yeah.
for in my week where I can do that? Hell yes. I spend an hour scrolling while I'm sitting on the toilet, for God's sake. I'm pretty sure I can make the time.
Yeah.
I do want to say one thing that when in terms of engagement, one thing that you shared with me that has been incredibly helpful for me is this is a piece of unwhelming in terms of systemizing, right? So the more that you automate, systemize, delegate, duplicate, replicate, the more you have freed up that piece of your brain that is your own superpower. So one thing that you shared with me that was really, really helpful is set a timer for twice a day. So I have an alarm that goes off at 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. every single day, except Saturday and Sunday, because you also taught me you don't have to engage 7 days a week, and you take 2 days off. Like, hello.
Absolutely.
Doesn't, the message that we've gotten is that social media is you have to be on it all the time, but you have really, the message that you're giving us is so much less overwhelming and so unwhelming. So I have a timer that goes off at an alarm that goes off at 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. Before I pick up my phone, I set a timer for 10 minutes. Because ADHD, TikTok, Instagram, they're very fun. It is way better than cable television, and certainly most of the time better than real life or invoicing clients, although that's pretty fun. So before I pick up my phone, I set a timer for 10 minutes. And when the timer rings, if I'm in the middle of a comment, I stop. I finish that comment, but I put my phone down and go back to what I was doing. I love Kelly's like, oh yeah, spend a lot of time on TikTok. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's good
I mean,
stuff.
those are dopamine hits. I also want to go back to when you were talking about engaging with people who follow your account or follow other people's account and answering comments. So one person that I really admire is Denise Duffield Thomas. I know you're also a member of the fan club. So she's a multinational, multi-million copy selling author. She has an incredible platform. If you want to know how to engage your audience, check out Denise Duffield Thomas. But here's what's important. She's got a 14.7 gajillion Instagram followers. I liked her account. I got a message in my DM that said, hey, hi, nice to meet you. Thanks for following me. Now, I know that it's either an automated message or some sort of external bot or a staff member. I know that. But that dopamine hit in my brain and my ego goes, oh, Denise Duffield messaged me. Holy shit, right?
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
once again, even if you've got 7 followers or only 8 people liked your reel or whatever, if you're in the habit of immediately, even if it's once a week, batching or once a day, just sending reply, a personalized reply, or if it's easier, all of your messaging platforms have an option for an auto response. So if somebody comments or DMs you, you can respond back. But if you're in the habit and have a system set up where you do that, it does increase personal engagement. I am far more likely when I'm scrolling through TikTok to pause on Denise Duffield Thomas's posts, not just because she's great and amazing, but because I'm like, that's my bitch, right? I know she doesn't know who I am, but my ego's like, we're TikTok friends, you know?
Yeah.
So this, the 2 pieces that really came out of that for me were set a timer and get the fuck back off in social media.
Yep. Yeah.
And so making it regular, like set those systems. And the other piece is routinely engage people on a very personal level. And when you just send them a DM that says, hey, thanks for following me, I mean that sincerely. When I send somebody that message and say, thanks for following me, I mean it. And so there is no reason, except for my delightfully protective inner asshole, there's no reason for me to believe that other people, when they send that message, are not also genuine.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank
And
you.
I want to say too, I mean, if you use Later or the Facebook, most scheduling platforms, and Facebook has a good one for beginners, just the Facebook Meta Suite. You connect your Instagram account. You can manage your contacts or your comments from there. And I like that because when I'm on my computer, I know I'm on work mode, but when I'm on my phone, I'm in fun mode kind of. So for me, that's really helpful. And like I do all my video editing on my phone, but then I get notifications, someone texted me, whatever. And I just learned that one of my favorite video editors is now available on my computer, and I'm like, hell yes.
Yes.
So I would just, I mean, like you guys to, like anybody to kind of just consider you know, what those small tweaks that just might help you be a little bit more professional or on focus on schedule, I guess. What am I trying to say? But yeah.
Sure. I'd like to pause for just a minute because I want to make sure, I think I saw somebody unmute and I want to make sure I didn't miss a comment or question. And I'd like to, before we go to like super basics, the building blocks of social media, particularly for Instagram, before we get to that, I'd like to just pause and see if anyone has a question or comment or would like to engage in the conversation. Okie doke. So there's 2 pieces that I'd really love to hear you cover. Again, this is for me. One is like a basic vocabulary lesson of the building blocks of Instagram and where to use the various things. And like, why isn't it enough for me to just post a picture? Duh. And then the second piece that I would really love is for you to talk about the interface between TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. And who am I missing? TikTok, Instagram, whatever else.
I mean, there's so many more, but that's why I'm not professional in the other ones. So
those big 3. And specifically, I'm thinking about things like creating content in TikTok because it has the tools like the audio, like the captioning, like things that Instagram and Facebook don't have. And so if you can talk about creation in one platform and then posting across platform.
Yep.
But first talk about the building blocks of specifically Instagram, but the other Trinity, Holy Trinity.
Yeah, seriously. Well, I want to say I'm an Instagram heavy person. That's kind of my default, but I've been trying to make TikTok my default. And the reason is because the algorithms are different and everybody's trying to take off everybody, all the other platforms are mimicking TikTok to stay alive.
Ah,
So what I will say, so that's why posting a picture isn't good enough. It's two things. It's for one, just the way that we are as humans now. We're just not as excited to see a photo as a video. And again, that could be a video that's just the same thing as a picture, but just it moved a tiny bit,
yeah.
like, so if you're going to take a picture, just take a video, just go, oh my gosh, my lunch, snap, or, ooh, my lunch, it's a small changes make a big difference. Okay, so that's why, and then so humans are just more likely to engage and watch videos. So it's more profitable for the social media companies to keep you on their platform as long as possible. They will do that with video. But then also everybody's trying to keep up with TikTok. So all the platforms have prioritized video reels, because
Yeah,
they have to do that to stay relevant.
got it.
So vocabulary, I'm going to talk about stories. So a story, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok all have this feature. And that's something that you would post that goes away after 24 hours. But it's a great way to show the behind the scenes, show what you do that morning. I take all my reels and I share them to a story because I just want them to get as much viewership as possible. So stories predominantly are behind the scenes things. They have great stickers. So you can put a question in them. You can put a poll. Do you want me to do that right now? And you can see?
I would love that.
Okay, I'm literally going to do that right now. So I'm going to pull up Instagram. Hold on one second.
I want to remind our audience in the Zoom, and I will do this on the Facebook as well, that Sarah's Instagram channel is @_the_real_Sarah, but there's a direct link in the chat, and her website and her really lovely, beautiful, love-filled vow journal link is directly there as well.
Thanks. Okay, so here's Instagram. Okay, so I follow these guys, they're pretty cool. Okay, so this is my story. So you'll see the people that I follow, their stories are here. Great time to engage and like whatever people are sharing. So engage in stories. So my story, and it, like I said, it goes away after 24 hours. So, that's a reel that I made. Okay, so I'm just sharing that. Wait, shucks, sorry, I'm trying to do this in reverse.
Backward and in a camera. Well done.
Yeah, thanks. So a friend of mine tagged me in a story. She said she's so excited for my class coming up. And so I shared that too, because if anyone besides me is talking about how cool I am, I want to show that. I want to show that because that's called social proof. And that's like, oh no, I'm not the only one. Someone else thinks I'm valuable too. But that's just, it's, like when people leave a review, it's valuable. So this is on my story. Hold on, back. Okay, what's this? Oh, so I was hired to film a video for a 1-year-old's birthday party. It was super sweet. And I just took a quick little video of the back. And once again, these clients paid me to make a cinematic video for their 1-year-old. So I haven't included a ton of personal details. You can't really see who these people are. You just see them at a birthday party. So, if you're on social media, you probably don't care about privacy that much, but I still want to be respectful. So I'm just showing, hey, look what I did. And also this is a new service that I'm offering. So I want to make sure that people are seeing it. And then I said, do you need a video for an upcoming event or milestone? And these are all the videos that I do. So it's nice when you can tie your story, kind of like each one of these is essentially a slide, right? Like a slideshow.
Okay.
So maybe you're sharing, I shared I'm doing a video, but I can kind of add on to that and say, do you need a video? These are the other videos that I can go on. So your audience is more likely to watch all of that through, and you can sort of supplement or add a backbone, add some story explanation to it.
Sorry, I have a quick question.
Yeah.
There's two things I want to point out because I am so not social media literate, and that's not a criticism, it's simply an observation. I just want to point out that you're holding your finger on the screen and that will pause a story. It's like when you
Yeah.
pause a slideshow. I didn't know
Yeah.
that for a really long time, so I would swipe back and
Okay.
forth to try to find it. So
Yeah.
that's huge, right? Because if you
Yeah.
want to comment on a post or if you want to read something, you can pause. And then I have a question. So you have a story that is pretty consistently lots of different posts. So anytime you make a post, you just add it to your story and then it kind of stacks up and rotates through. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
that's pretty much what I do. So anything I share to my profile, I'm going to share it on my story because it's just one extra oomph to do that. I also put hashtags in my story. That helps.
How do you
It's
do
not
that?
what?
How do you do that?
Well, so what I'll do is I'll go to a post that I made. So the last post that I made was a reel about that 1-year-old video.
Okay.
So I'll click it there. I'll make it full screen. I'll click it again.
Uh-huh.
Hold on. There are 3 little dots right there.
Okay.
I go manage, edit, and I just copy and paste them from here.
That's great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at that. 3 easy steps. I just learned something in even more. Yay.
Yeah. So I can copy all that. And then when I make a new story, I can share it. There's just a little arrow, share to story. And I can use like the text feature and just paste those. I actually didn't copy them, so it's not going to show up. But
Sure.
let's just say those are some things that that's just numbers. But I can make this smaller and I can put my video in front of it so nobody sees it. So I'm getting all the effect of the extra boost of the story plus the hashtags. So since I have my stories editor here open, I just wanted to show you that if you click on that little square smiley face button, that's going to access all your stickers.
Yes.
And this is engagement glory. So I can put my location. I can mention someone else. I might mention, this is a lead that I got through Instagram. She's on my page and liked it. So I would tag her. I also sent her a private message and say, hey, is it okay if I post this about your family? And she said yes. So I can ask a question like, do you have a special event coming up? And then when I ask that question, every single reply comes to me. So I can say, what's the number one question you have about making reels? And hopefully people would answer me. And then that would inform other posts. I can make posts about that. So don't worry about the brainstorm. It's just, you just have to kind of unlock your brain. And it'll take practice, but once you do it, like I can't stop thinking of ideas now. Like I just can't stop. I have the opposite problem where I have so many ideas that I run out of storage and I also don't have enough time to edit them all together. So that's a question that's really valuable. Also, if you don't like it, you can just delete that. So I'm back at the stories. I have a slider so I can, this is a heart eyes. Let's say I was really mad about something. I was like, can you believe how cute this baby is? Not really, but you can change the emoji. So like the other day, I went live on Instagram for 33 minutes. I had an incredible live. People were on there. Like I said, sometimes people aren't on there. I had like 5 people commenting on it and like joining, and it was a great conversation. And it freaking glitched out and deleted, and it was all gone. And I was like, Instagram, are you effing kidding me? Anyways, so I used the cry emoji, and I was like, I scrolled and I didn't like any of those emojis. So I just squared on this plus sign and I clicked the cry face, and I was like, when Instagram deletes my live, like, can you guys please validate my feelings that I'm really sad about that? And that's a great way to get engagement. And you can ask a question. So you just type he or whatever. So I just wanted, that's a great way to get engagement. You can also do a poll. So, and you can have other, I can ask a question like, what event would you love to get a commemorative video for? And I could make like graduation, wedding, baby shower, bachelorette, and people would vote on it. And I would see all those results.
That's terrific.
Great, because number one, I can maybe make a reel or even like an ad about whatever the top answer was. Or I can make sure that I make reels about those things and show people that. they really like that. So that's a way to inform my content strategy. So as you're filling out
Sarah,
ideas,
those responses come to your DMs, right?
they don't come to my DMs. What happens is, I'll go to my story. So on my profile, like I'll click on my story, and at the bottom here, this is all the activity
Oh, yeah.
and
Okay,
that who saw it or who voted on it. Oh,
great.
dang, heck yeah, I got a lot of
Look at
views on
you.
that.
Woo-hoo!
Whoa, dude.
So
Thanks,
it sounds like
Caitlin.
that's another easy way to engage. If somebody does vote on the poll
Mhm.
or answer a question, and if you expand that content and tag them,
Yeah.
or send them that in a direct message and say, "Here's I know you were asking about this," or even commiserating, like
Yeah, you could. I mean, I would like that personal touch of sending them a DM to answer their question or whatever, or like reply to that. But that's, you can make a video about that, make a reel where I said, hey, I know that some of you are wondering how to add hashtags in your story. Let me show you. And so, and I want to do that too. I mean, I'm always really worried that I'm going to go too technical and stuff and like kind of talk above where my people are or something, and
where I am anyway.
yeah. And so that's a way that I can check in with my audience and say, what is it that you like? Like what do you want to see from me, and what questions do I need to answer? Like, am I actually providing the value that you wanted me to? So
One of your superpowers, Sarah, is that you do have so much knowledge and you impart it so well. So even when you're doing the really technical reels, like I've watched your instructional reels, and even when I think, oh, there's no way in hell I could do that, or I think, oh my God, I am just so overwhelmed, I'll still watch them because it's aspirational. So it isn't just the folks who are immediately accessing that information. Once again, I'm kind of in my brain, I'm bookmarking, oh, when I have a question about that, Sarah's the professional to ask. So it's, even if you're posting things that feel very, very niche specific or very technical, you can consider those as part of your long plan.
yeah, exactly. And I love it that people don't know how to make them, because in a way I can be like, I can make this for you, please hire me. Like, and when I upgrade my equipment, I very much want to make commercial quality videos in landscape or portrait mode. And I can't wait to start doing bio videos and about videos. Yeah, I'm really excited about that.
You should all know that my short-term budgeting includes hiring Sarah. So when you are all scrolling and my social media starts to look really good, it's gonna be Sarah. It's not me.
Thanks. So let me go over the other vocabulary. I know we have 9 minutes left. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay, so 9 minutes. Okay, so reels, that's a short form video, and you can find all of those when you can look for them here in the middle button. And it'll start with my reel, and it'll show, oh, those are all 9. Hold on. So go to the home page and then click reels. Yeah. So I'm going to click it to mute it. You'll see that there's a tiny little upward arrow next to that audio.
Oh yeah.
It's trending. So let's check out this audio. If it has more than 10,000 uses, I'm not going to bother with it, because I'm not going to hit that wave. But lucky for us, it has 6,000 uses. So I can save this audio for my batch filming day.
Wow.
So save audio. Hold on. So that's nice. With the beat the way it is, you could even sync your photos to it.
That's amazing. That's another place where you can systematize. You do not have to go looking for trending audio. If you find one you like and you can save that audio, it's there when you've got the time to make. That's
and
great.
I want to take even more off your plate, because there's so many trending audios that it'll be someone saying, here, I'll show you an example. So it could be something really general where someone's like, I can't do that. That's what I just did. Some audio of a little kid saying, I can't do that. And I can take that audio and record me saying those words, or even over like whatever, a cinematic video of my coffee. And I can say, when my clients do whatever. So a trending sound, I did a TikTok challenge, and I'm doing 2 videos a day on TikTok. So yay, I'm glad about that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna put the audio up and I'm just gonna show you an example. So this is an audio of Minions, and everybody else who used this, they were using it in a way where they were like, okay, a ton of ideas are coming to me. That's all it is. It's a Minion typing. And so that was trending. And so I just took a video of me on my computer when they asked me, what do I even post about? And I just put a bunch of text right there, you know? And so that I mean, when I was talking about your content calendars and I was like, I'm going to give you a freebie and that's going to be all stuff about you. Take the other freebie, which is just repurposing trending content to your niche.
Wow. Okay. You
Yeah.
make it, you just having this conversation is really helpful to be like, whew, it makes sense because that's kind of what overwhelms. So we are coming up on 11:53 my time, and I've got a couple of questions in chat. So
Okay.
oh, sorry. Thank you. One question that I have here is, should we go all in on our reels? I still like to post photos every now and then, but I notice my engagement and views are way up when I do reels. And do you think vlogs and video diaries will start to become more popular on reels the way they are on TikTok?
Yeah, I think that if your goal is to grow, absolutely double down on reels. I'm employing a reels only strategy. That's all I do. I want to grow. That's my number one goal right now. If you do want to post photos, post several at once. So it's kind of a slideshow. It's called a carousel post. And that's a way that you'll get more engagement. Reels are typically going to be seen by people who don't follow you. So make sure to have a strong call to action, follow for more, check out my other videos, check out my page. If you want to do the X, Y, and Z, follow whatever. So, but then the people that are already following you are probably going to see all the things that you're posting. So it's kind of a way, like I said, I would definitely recommend doubling down on reels if you're wanting to grow. But if you do want to post photos, the photos, if you're going to post a photo or a carousel post, your audience is probably going to be more the people that already follow you. So you can kind of think about that in your strategy where, you know, maybe you do a reel with a trend, but maybe you provide some really good meaty detail in a photo. Or maybe if you use Canva and you can make graphics, you know, that are like explaining things.
I have a question related. So if I have a photo that's just great, can I do something in Instagram? So for instance, in iMovie, you can make a slideshow, but it has a Ken Burns effect so that your photo, your still photo has motion in it. Can you do that easily in either TikTok or Instagram?
You can actually, when you make a reel, you would make a reel. So you would make a reel and you would search for a filter. So I would do my plus sign, like I'm going to make a new post. And then it'll say, do you want to make a post, a story, a reel, or a live? So I'm going to push reel. And these are all the effects that I've already saved. So you can search here and there's a ton of effects. I'm just going to say, I'm going to search one I just happen to know of called Pixelate. Let me see. No, that's not what a pix. You know, I don't want to have a lot of time right now, so I don't want to get into it. But if you pick an effect, you can apply the effect to your reel, and it'll make your pictures come alive. You know what? Maybe I'll do a reel about that. I'm gonna do a reel. I'm gonna do a reel that says, you know, if you want to make pics into reels, use these effects.
Perfect. So you could go into your you could create a reel and you could access the photo that you want to add the effects to from your video library that's already, or your photo library that's already in your phone.
Yeah.
This is so helpful, Sarah. Thank you.
Oh, good. Well, and back to the comment about the vlogs, I would say absolutely. So that's that's like your freebie content pillar. So make it every 5 posts or however many content pillars you have, you know, alternate it. Don't make it all vlogs. But I did that the other day on TikTok where I have a video of me working out, the sunrise, my coffee, my journal, whatever. And I put it to music and I was like, you know, I'm so grateful for what I've built. And you can bring it back to your business and what you're doing, but that's a great opportunity to just show behind the scenes and people get to know you. So absolutely. And honestly, it makes me like, it made me like romanticize my life. I mean, my life feels really crazy and messy sometimes, but then I put it to music and I was like, wow. I've got a great life.
Look
So
at
I
that.
would definitely do that.
Yes.
It's a free, it's easy, and it's an easy thing to do to get engagement. So I'd say, yeah, definitely with the vlogs.
Fantastic. So we've got just like a minute or two left because we're gonna wrap up by hyping you again and hyping Unwhelm Coaching because, well, this is my time. I get to use it for commercials. Can you give us very quickly 3 things to be careful about when we're posting?
Okay, so it's like 3 mistakes to avoid, right?
Sure. Yep.
Okay. Shoot. Dang. 3 mistakes. I would
Make
say
it real.
not being consistent. So like if you're posting a story or you're using editing features, if you're using all the different fonts all the time, it's gonna not look good and it's confusing.
Got
So
it.
mistake number 1 would be like not being consistent. Mistake number 2, I feel like just not valuing people's privacy or whatever. Like if you're taking, like I did a bunch of batch filming yesterday at Frog Hollow Farm, and the lady was like, I don't want to be in your videos. Like you can tag us, but I don't want to be in it. And I think that so many of us just whip out our phones and like start taking content. And I think it's important to think this, like I said, about my kid, like I put the back of her head as much as I can. Sometimes I show her face, but you know, I kind of try to just keep in mind and ask permission for if I can use her videos. So I think that's just good humaning. Good humaning. Another mistake, I would just say, you know, a mistake might be worrying too much, you know, like stressing and feeling the shame. Like just don't compare yourself to other people. Just know that what you see on Instagram, it's edited. It's, you know, there's so many creators that are going viral, and that's not your life. So just like I said before, do the best you can, and when you can do better, do better.
Thank you. Ladies and ladies, if there are gentlemen that present, that's fine, but you don't get the hype. Thank you a million times. This has been our hour with the real Sarah, who unwhelmed social media for us. And I have to say that in 50 minutes, I feel somehow both smarter and reassured about social media. So yay you. You can find her at _the_real, REEL_Sarah on Instagram. And that's pretty much her handle all over the place. So go to her website, therealsarah.com. Check her out. By next week, you will have this video plus an incredibly helpful social media planner that immediately unwhelms, available to you as a free download. In terms of Unwhelm Coaching, please stay tuned because next Friday is the 2nd of September, and that is when we are unveiling our membership area. Woot woot!
Yeah.
So ish like this will be available to you with a single sign-on. It'll be so easy and so fantastic. So we really, really appreciate Sarah coming on today so that I can feel better about hyping the membership. If you have questions that didn't get answered here, you can hit her up in social media on her DMs. You can also hit up Unwhelm Coaching through email or any of our socials, which you can find at the bottom of our website, unwhelmcoaching.com. Thanks again. Happy Friday, and I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day.
Thank you, Katie.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Oh, hey, we're getting unwhelmed. And as always, you can catch all of our recordings on our website at unwhelmcoaching.com.